The view from above Ronan, Montana is pretty good, but the view from up here
Houston, this is Station. I am ready for the event.
is out of this world.
My name is Nicole Mann, and I am the spacecraft commander for NASA's SpaceX Crew 5 mission to the International Space Station.
On the ground, these students on the Flathead Indian Reservation in Montana got a first-hand look thanks to NASA's first Indigenous woman in space.
The other day, we were passing over Montana, and I could see the Flathead Indian Reservations. I could see Glacier National Park going up into Canada, and it was just beautiful.
It's Nicole Mann's first space flight.
How do you guys keep yourself entertained?
She answered the students' pre-recorded questions live from the International Space Station. As these kids are learning, there's a big world beyond this small Montana town.
No, I've never, not even in my mom's tummy. I've never been on an airplane.
Many of these kids haven't. That changed for some older students in October when about 50 kids from this area spent almost a week at the Kennedy Space Center where they watched a rocket launch.
The Boys and Girls Club in our valley were chosen by the Students to Launch program, which is a new program getting as many kids from underserved areas to rocket launches as possible.
Elementary STEM teacher Hillary Lozar chaperoned the trip.
I was videoing the rocket launch so I wouldn't forget it, watching it, and also looking around me, looking at all these kids with their jaw dropped, eyes wide open. It was just, there's a lot going on.
Pretty far away from Ronan, Montana.
It was. The kids had never, many of them had never left the state.
Months later, Miss Lozar learned even more of her students would get a glimpse into the world of space, this time directly from Nicole Mann in a live Q&A.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Knowing that Houston Ground Control is talking about our school and our local Boys and Girls Club, and they have all the questions lined up from our kids, it just felt like suddenly we were part of things, rather than watching from the side.
They're included and communicating directly with a role model who looks like them.
Because just because they're women or just because they're Native American doesn't mean they shouldn't get to.
I have a couple kiddos who just look at her for a minute, and I explain that she's Native. She's not just a woman in space, which is already really neat, but Native woman. And they, well, I'm a Native woman too. Like, I know, it could be you. Let's just plan for that.
Mann answered questions for about 20 minutes.
My name is Hadassah, and I'm in 4th grade. And my question was, are your dreams different in space?
You know, I had that same question before I traveled to space, and my dreams are very similar to dreams on Earth.
Everything from can you have pets to how do you wash your hair?
And you can see how the water just sticks to my hand.
It's cool. And I love how her hands just looked like webbed. She's actually like really cool, and I liked how she did she took her hand and showed the water on it. That was really cool to me too.
What do you wish was up there in space with you right now?
Let's see. Right now, I wish I had my son with me. He is 10 years old, and he would love being in space. And I think that we would just have an incredible time being in microgravity.
If you could have been asking her a question, what would you have asked?
What does it feel like when the rocket goes up?
For Lozar, she hopes events like this inspire more girls and Indigenous students to pursue careers in STEM, with people like Nicole Mann leading the way.
Seeing that become more and more honored and spotlighted in mainstream culture and in the science world has been really exciting. So the more Native kids that we get involved in STEM, the more we will see that happening, and I think that's very important.
And a reminder that no matter how big or far, their dreams can take off. Maritza Giorgio, Scripps News, Ronan, Montana.